Hi, I'm Lori Armstrong Halber, and I'm here at Neumann University today so we can talk about a challenging area for employers, and that is the classification of workers as either employees or independent contractors, and what is the best way to grow your business. It's easier to understand what an independent contractor is when you compare an independent contractor to what an employee is. So oftentimes when I'm explaining this concept to somebody who's new, I'll talk about it in the context of painting your house. So if I'm going to hire someone to paint my house, I might say, listen, I want my house painted, I want 5 different rooms, I want 5 different colors, and I contract with that individual to come in and do the painting. That individual provides the tools, the ladder, generally the specific hours of work. I might say, I want you to paint Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but they'll decide when their lunch breaks are and things like that. They'll decide whether they're going to paint the trim first or the walls or the ceiling, things like that. In contrast, an employee would be the actual painters who work for the individual that I contracted with. So if I contracted with someone, say, named Jim, and Jim has 4 or 5 employees who are actually doing the painting, Jim employs those individuals as employees. So he tells them exactly what time to get there. He supervises the work. He tells them whether to paint the trim first or the walls or the ceiling. It's very important that an employer classify these individuals in the proper way. Again, you can't just call somebody a 1099 contractor or call them an employee. It's really about what the relationship is. And courts and agencies such as the IRS or the Department of Labor or other agencies that would be involved in enforcing workplace laws look at a couple of things. They look at who's paying, who's defining the work, who's providing the equipment, who's providing the training, how much oversight is there, where are records stored with respect to the individual, are benefits being provided. The more things that a company does that make that relationship seem like what we commonly understand as an employee-employer relationship, regardless of what the company calls that relationship, it could be found by a court or an agency to be an employment relationship. And in that case, the company would have all of the liabilities that any employer would have, even though they're calling them a 1099 contractor. So if you are going to use a staffing company, you may want to be careful about creating what we call a joint employment relationship. And that's where 2 different entities are considered to be the legal employer of an individual. And that happens, for example, when someone uses a staffing company for long-term placement of workers. So they will use a staffing company and they will have 100 individuals that are performing services at their company but are being paid through the staffing company, but they are the ones that are providing the supervision. They have them sign handbooks, and they are there for years. At that time, when you look at the relationship between your company and the staffing company and those relationships with those individuals, you've created basically a dual employment situation, and then you are also liable, as is the W-2 staffing company, for any liabilities that might come out of the employment relationship. So when you're staffing your business, think about the types of individuals you need and the types of services you want them to perform. If it's going to be a long-term relationship and they're going to be doing things that are part of your business, then you want to think about making them employees. If it's something that's either ancillary to your business or extremely short-term, then you might want to consider using an independent contractor to do those tasks. And you want to make sure that you are separating that individual and those tasks from the regular part of your business.